Okay, so first thing we want to do is get our cardboard kit all set up. So first thing you want to do is get your doll's foot and take a piece of plain cardboard with a pencil, and you're going to sort of shape this to the actual doll foot, just like that. So get your pencil out, and where did I put my pencil? Here it is. And you can trim this down if it helps you do better. But basically what you're doing is you're just going to outline your doll's foot. Okay, you don't have to be perfect because you can always fix it later. You just want to get the basic outline. Okay, so now that you've got that, you're going to cut it out and you're going to smooth all your rough edges. When I first did these, I made them a little too wide, so then I went back and I made them more narrow, and I think I got a better fit on the doll's foot. So you're basically looking like something like that. So what you're going to want to do is cut 2 of these. So I've already cut these that I know is going to match the silver shoe, which is pretty darn close, almost exactly as the size of the doll's foot. Well, actually, it's very close. I wrote thin on here because I had taken another doll shoe and I went a lot wider. I don't know if you can see, but it's probably, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch bigger all the way around, and I got too big, I think, on the sole. So I went back down to the thinner size, and I think that works better. So you need 2, top and bottom. And then you're going to need 1 more for the bottom of the base of the sole, for the bottom sole. So go ahead and make another one in the same exact shape, and then you'll have it ready for when you need it. You'll have it when you need it. Okay, I didn't do a very good job. Let me take my time and do a better job on that one. So we'll just call this one outer sole. Okay, so that'll be ready for the bottom sole. Okay, so now we've got our 2 soles, this one and this one. So now let me get comfortable here. We're going to cut our wire. So we're going to take our wire cutters and we're going to cut, approximately 3 3¼ You want to get between 3 and 3½, and then just use your wire cutters and cut yourself a piece of wire. Okay. So we've got that. Now what you want to do is you want to put a bend in your wire on the top. So just grab you can use, these are are they bottlenose? I think they're called bottlenose pliers. And then you just wrap them. I'm not using my good jewelry wires because I didn't want to ruin them. Okay, so there's one, and then I'm taking flat nose pliers, and I'm getting that flush. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the doll's foot, and I'm going to determine where my first bend is going to be. Let me go here. Put your loop that you just made on the toe part of the foot, and then get your bottlenose out, and then just mark it and make a bend. Okay, so you're going to bend it. You're going to bend it down. So you want this one flat. If it's not exactly right, it's okay. You can adjust it later. Okay, so we've got our first bend in there. So now we're going to come down and we're going to go into the angle of the foot and we're going to make another bend. Okay, and then we're going to make our second swirl. Okay, all right, and then you're going to even these out. That's why it's nice to have 2 pairs so you can get a nice even smooth finish on those. Okay, let's see how that worked out. That's not even close. Okay, let's try that. So you can play with it until it gets a nice smooth fit. So basically, you can bend these back out, bend them up. What you're trying to do is get that flush with the actual foot itself. Okay? So that's pretty darn close. So we'll use this one. I had one already, I have a bunch of these already bent up, so you can see they pretty much look all the same. One of these is, I think it's this one right here. This one here is the 14 gauge. It's a little thicker wire, and it was much harder to bend, so I just gave up on the 14 and went to the 16. Okay, so let's see which one we got here. Is this the one I was working with? Let's try this one. Okay, so we got that, and it's pretty flush. Okay, so I've been heating up my hot glue gun and getting that ready to use. Okay, so first thing you want to do is take one of your soles. I like gluing this on I like doing the bottom first. And the reason why is because if it gets a little out of shape, it's not going to affect the top. So if you glue the wire to the bottom sole, it works better on that. Okay, so get your shape pretty much going here. Okay, and if you have to, you can even make your own little bins there. So you just want to get that shaped up. All right, so then you're going to take your wire shape, put it on your piece of cardboard, and hopefully your glue gun is hot enough. You're going to glue it down. Let me just turn this on, I don't know. Okay, get yourself a little bucket of cold water so you can spread that glue out before it gets, while it's still hot. Okay, all right, so now you've got that. So now we're going to put a little bit up here on the side. Okay, got a wet finger, press that down. Okay, and then the last piece here. Spread that glue out. Make sure it's flush. Okay, so that's your stabilizer. All that wire is doing is holding the shape and stabilizing it so that the doll, so it will hold the shape when you're finished with the shoe. If you try to do this without the wire, it's not going to hold its shape. I tried aluminum wire first, and it just didn't work. It was just not strong enough. Okay, so at this point now you can test it again. See how you like it, and you can actually even bend it a little bit now at this point if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to add our spacers, and the spacers are going to help us get an even finish all the way around the shoe. So let's just cut a few of these. You just need them every once in a while, so that when you do go to glue the second piece of cardboard on here, you're not going to glue the cardboard pieces together. I need some more hot glue. Okay. And you want them so they're sticking inside and not on the outside. You don't have to be fancy. Okay, one more at the back. Okay, so something like that is what you want to do. My fingers. Check again. Okay, still good. So now before we glue the top, we're going to shape it the way we want it. Now you're going to try and get these as even as possible. So what I do is I glue one side and then I glue the other side. Sometimes you do have to trim it, but if you have it right, you shouldn't have to. See how they're sticking together there? I would be better off to put some more. I would be better off in the long run if I put some more of that green right there in that location. Because if I don't, my cardboard's going to end up probably sticking together, and we don't want that. So one here and one here. There we go. That's too big. Okay. See that? Okay, so that's where we're at. All right, so now I'm going to take glue, and I'm going to glue this side first. And I'm going to check my fit before I go any farther. Okay, I'm going to line it up. Make sure it's all lined up. See how those spacers work in there? Okay, so that looks good. So now I can glue the rest. Okay. It's still pretty hot in there, so we're going to want to let it cool off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to build that up all the way around this outside. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I have a nice edging to lay the vinyl over, the vinyl glitter. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to fill up the glue. And you definitely need the water here because you want to not burn your fingers like I just tried to do. But you don't want the glue to stick out. You just want a nice uniform fit on that glue. I bought one of those pen glue sticks thinking, oh, I can just get right in there with the glue stick. And I didn't like it. I tried it for, oh gosh, hours and hours thinking, okay, I'll get the hang of it. But the problem is you have to load it with the, I'll show it to you. I paid $10 for it at Walmart. It's one of those, I think they're called Westcott, these ones. And you press this down like this and this turns red. But when you load it, you load the stick in here. And then you pull this back like you're, but you know, and that engages the stick. Now it's stuck in there. But they said that when you press this will automatically stop. Well, the glue doesn't automatically stop. It keeps flowing. I watched lots of videos on it thinking, well, I'll get some had good videos, some had bad, but it's just too difficult, I think, to use. You have more control with the handheld one because I can just push my tension as much as I want on here, and if it gets over gummed up, all I got to do is just wipe the tip. You know, it's easier for me to use. I guess it's whatever you get used to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish filling in all these crevices. And I won't put it on the video because I just want to make sure they get in there good. And we'll get this one all filled up with hot glue. And so we get a nice firm mold. And then when we come back, we will apply the vinyl. and start working on the rest of the shoe.